Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'll be covering Who's Who in the DC Universe, Volume 3, Number 3, published in 1985 by DC Comics. This issue features a beautiful cover by regular cover artist George Perez, showing the characters featured in this issue. And we see once again Perez's ability to draw masses of characters in poster or cover scenes, seamlessly fusing them together here, allowing them to interact with each other. It's very cool. Again, a different approach to what we saw with the official handbook, with just sort of the characters moving forward together as a group. Here we have these characters standing, some of them using their powers, interacting with each other. I love the juxtaposition here of Brute and Block, two really great bruiser characters. Black Lightning looking very cool here, wielding his powers. Black Racer off in the background there, looking menacing. Very cool shot of Bouncing Boy, Blue Beetle. So I say all those names, and let's figure out who's in this issue. So this issue covers Black Lightning to Blythe. So again, we should be finishing up the B's with this issue. So as we dive in, there's a letter from a fan asking why they're not actually giving specific details in the characters' powers. And Len Wein, the writer-editor, replies that they want to just leave that stuff vague. They want to leave it up to the writers and artists. And again, this is their approach, much different from the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, and I appreciate that. It makes it a different product, and it works for DC. So very cool. Len Wein's writer-editor, Marv Wolfman, writer, consulting editor, Robert Greenberger, associate editor, Paul Levitz, Gary Cohn are writers, and Peter Sanderson, E. Nelson Bridwell are researchers, and a number of other staff listed as well. We start out with Black Lightning by Jim Aparo. Very cool montage sequence in the background here. Jim Aparo is a Batman artist, a Batman and the Outsiders artist, and he's done a lot of Black Lightning over the years. And it was great to get him circa 1985 to do this shot here of Black Lightning. Very cool. Jefferson Pierce, first appearance, Black Lightning #1. Great shot of him fighting Tobias Whale here, really cool. He has various electrical powers. He's an Olympic level athlete. We have an excellent Black Manta by Bill Willingham and Romeo Tanghal. Black Manta first appeared in Aquaman #35. Alter Ego Unknown. His suit basically gives him various underwater powers, making him the match of Aquaman in battle. We have a beautiful entry on Black Orchid. Her first appearance, Adventure Comics 428. All of her other information is pretty much unknown. She is a character created by one of the great Filipino implants to American comics, Tony DeZanuga. The artwork here is by the incomparable Terry Austin, very nice. Far more is known about the Black Orchid's powers and abilities than about the costumed crime buster herself. She can fly and is apparently bulletproof, but nobody knows if these are natural abilities or technically created by her uniform. She possesses superhuman strength and the ability to project force fields. One thing I loved about Black Orchid and about Suicide Squad is that they used Black Orchid. John Ostrander was willing to reach out and grab these little used characters and bring them in. She was brought in very well into the Suicide Squad. Pretty much whole cloth. They didn't change her uniform or anything. And I was really great. That was really my first introduction to the character, was reading her in Suicide Squad in the 80s, in the mid-80s. Black Pirate, first appearance, Sensation Comics #1. Real name, John Valor. John and Justin Valor possessed no superhuman powers or extraordinary abilities. Both, however, were superior athletes and superb swordsmen. So we have another sort of gimmick hero / villain character. Art by Jerry Ordway, excellent. We have the Black Racer in our next entry here. Alter Ego Sergeant Willie Walker. First appearance, New Gods #3. And this is Jack Kirby and Greg Thexton. He's very much a Kirby Fourth World character. When Kirby came over to DC in the 70s, leaving Marvel, he created his Fourth World, and among the colorful characters in that gallery of new characters for DC was Black Racer, who was basically the personification of death in the Fourth World pantheon. Black Rock, with art by Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson. First appearance, Action Comics 458. He's a cool Superman villain, possessing almost Green Lantern-like powers with this literal black rock that he uses to gain his powers. Real name, Dr. Peter Silverstone. Next up is Black Spider. Alter ego, Eric Needham. First appearance, Detective Comics 463. We have some great Pat Broderick artwork here. In addition to using weapons and having a really cool costume, Black Spider also was a superb combatant. So very cool character. Nice Pat Broderick artwork too. Really well done on that piece. Next up is Black Star, Rachel Berkowitz. Occupation, rabble-rouser, and supervillainous. New Adventures of Supergirl number 13 is her first appearance. Art by Carmine Infantino and Rick Magyar. Rick Magyar working overtime on this piece. Next up is Blockbuster. Mark Desmond, ex-scientific prodigy, now near mindless brute. First appearance, Detective Comics 345. Art by Michael T. Gilbert. Really nice artwork here too in this sequence. We have our foreground figure and then the background sequences of action here showing Blockbuster are really cool. Love him lifting the safe here, fighting the Batman. And as I said, first appearance, Detective Comics 345. Possessed of immense super strength, speed, and invulnerability, the Blockbuster is limited only by his equally overwhelming lack of intelligence. So he's very much a Hulk-like character. And here we have one of my favorite Legionnaires of all time, Block, beautifully drawn by Steve Lytle. First appearance, Legion of Superheroes 253. I'm a proud owner of this issue, really cool. I love Steve Lytle's background images here, especially with Block in one of his original costumes, showing him in action here, fighting Karlach, Karlach, the Kund warlord from Legion of Superheroes 298 and 299. I love that costume that Giffen had designed for Block at that time. Really cool. Just a very nice entry on Block. 7 feet 2 inches, 975 pounds. Block's alien body has the qualities of tremendous mass, near invulnerability, and greater than human strength. Very cool. Next up, we have Blue Beetle. First appearance, Captain Atom, number 83. Ted Cord. This is the Ted Cord Blue Beetle. Beautifully drawn here by Steve Rude. Really like this action sequence in the background here. And of course, our foreground color figure here looks amazing too. Great choice for the Blue Beetle entry. It makes me wonder if the editor, like Greenberger or Ween and Wolfman, were the ones who tracked down the artists for these entries. Because Block was obviously drawn by Steve Lytle, who is a Legion artist at the time, or just recently departed from the Legion, and he's a shoe-in. Him or Giffen were shoe-ins to do the Block entry. They made a lot of sense. Or Greg LaRocque, who is probably the current Legion artist when this came out. But here, Blue Beetle, I don't know if his title was canceled or not at this time, but Paris Collins would have been a nice choice, but I think Steve Rude is just a brilliant choice here for Blue Beetle. Speak of the Devil, we have Paris Collins drawing our Blue Devil entry, and Blue Devil is Daniel Patrick Cassidy, first appearance, Fury of Firestorm number 24. He was basically trapped in this devil exoskeleton that was supposed to be used for movies, and gave him a host of power, super strength, acrobatics. His trident could do energy blasts. And I love this Paris Collins, Gary Martin artwork. Excellent. And we have more Paris Collins and Gary Martin with Bolt, a Blue Devil villain. His first appearance was Blue Devil number 6. I always love this costume design. And it was really cool when he appeared, I think, toward the end of Suicide Squad. toward the end of their run. Issue 65 and 66, I think, is one of their foes in their final mission. Really cool artwork here. Bolt possesses a number of superhuman powers: flight, teleportation, super strength, and the ability to hurl energy bolts. Really a formidable opponent. Here we have Bouncing Boy by the aforementioned Keith Giffen and Carl Kessel. Really great. I love the background of him of just bouncing around here, and the foreground figure is really cool too. Chuck Tane, Action Comics number 276, his first appearance, and of course he has the elastic superpowers. 5'8", 221 pounds. Again, with the extremely specific weights on these characters. I think it's funny. The Boy Commandos, another great Jack Kirby, Greg Thexton entry here. Really cool. Oh, a very fun villain, the Brain, member of the Brotherhood of Evil. Alter ego unknown. Occupation, would-be world conqueror. First appearance, Doom Patrol 86. This is great Bill Sienkiewicz artwork here on the Brain, too. Really cool. I love this sequence here with Monsieur Mala and the whole operation transplanting the brain literally into his robotic body. And I think it's fitting and a cool coincidence that the Brain is followed immediately up by Brainiac, who the imagery of the two characters is really paralleled. It's neat. Alter ego none on Brainiac. First appearance, Action Comics 242. Height 7'4", weight 479 pounds. This is the cool robotic Brainiac that we got in the Superpowers line of toys as a kid. Really cool. Art by Ed Hannigan and Mike DiCarlo. And he has a host of superhuman powers, making him the physical equal of Superman almost. And even putting aside his incredible intellect. I love the Brainiac ship too. Really neat. And Brainiac 5, Querl Dox. First appearance, Action Comics 276. Art by Kurt Swan and Carl Kessel. His main power is his 13th level intellect. And he has all his cool force field belt. The love of Supergirl was always something that he sought. He was infatuated with her. The issues following her death in Crisis, the issues in Legion, were just really, really sad, as he took it very, very hard. And a great shot here of him battling Tharok from the Fatal Five up here in the corner. Next up is Brainstorm. Axel Storm, first appearance, Justice League of America, number 32. So he's an old character. Art by Kurt Swan and the great Al Williamson. Beautiful inks by Williamson on Swan's pencils here. And you can really see the Al Williamson coming through, especially in this color pick here. Very cool. Brainwave, we're getting all our Brain characters out of the way in this issue. So this is the original Brainwave, art by Joe Staton. First appearance, All-Star Comics 15. He had a host of mental powers. Here he is with the Ultra Humanite and Brainwave Jr. In these background sequences here, doing mental battle with the Ultra Humanite. Very cool. And here's Brainwave Jr. by the incomparable Jerry Ordway. His first appearance is All-Star Squadron 24. I think that might have been Infinity Inc.'s first appearance because he is a member of Infinity Inc. He is a mutant with various telepathic and telekinetic powers, as outlined here. I love the green, too, in his background images. Really cool. Breathtaker, a character I am totally unfamiliar with. First appearance, Fury of Firestorm, number 29. This is great art by Raphael Keanan here. Really cool. He was I think Al Milgrom may have started Firestorm as the artist, but Raphael Keanan and Pat Broderick both had, I think, runs on the book. One of my favorite DC characters coming up here, Bronze Tiger. Phenomenal art by Dennis Cohen and Frank Giacoya. First appearance, Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter number 1. That would be one to track down. I may have to do that. That would be an issue I'd love to own. Alter ego, Ben Turner. Occupation, martial arts teacher. Trained from childhood by the legendary O-Sensei, Ben Turner is one of the world's greatest martial artists, equaled only by his partner, Richard Dragon. In a one-on-one battle, few men can stand against him, although the Batman has survived 2 such encounters. His training also included spiritual enlightenment, which instilled in him an aversion to killing. This training was so deeply ingrained that even Professor Ojo's brainwashing could not override it fully. Just a beautiful artwork on this entry from Dennis Cohn and Giacoya here. Really nice. Brute, drawn by Sean McManus, who was drawing the Omega Men by this time. First appearance, Green Lantern 141. Height, 8 feet 4 inches, weight 650 pounds. Brute's immense size gives him extraordinary strength. Unlike the rest of his race, he's a skilled hand-to-hand combatant, though he prefers to use force solely as a last resort. And next up, we have Brother Blood with art by George Perez, and we're going to see a little bit more George Perez in this issue coming up. Alter Ego Unknown, first appearance, New Teen Titans number 21. I always thought as a kid he was a really cool and scary villain, cult leader. Used the the strength of his cult members to give him superpowers. Very neat and gorgeous artwork from George Perez here. And speaking of which, we get George Perez on the Brotherhood of Evil. God, I mean, I love these characters here. So the Brotherhood of Evil consists of the Brain, Monsieur Mala, Madame Rogue, Gargwax, General Mortis. And then the newer version was the Brain again, Monsieur Mala, Hungan, Phobia, Plasmus, and Warp. This is the team that I first encountered when I picked up as a kid New Teen Titans number 29 off the rack. An issue that I have covered. You can look it up among my older videos. It's a really good one, that issue, and it features the Brotherhood of Evil in a 3 or 4 part story where they're trying to kidnap Raven. Really cool. But I love this George Perez artwork of the whole Brotherhood of Evil, both versions of the team, just in action here. Very menacing, very cool. George Perez was just an incomparable artist. One of the best. And we have Brother Power, drawn by Valentino and Carl Kessel. So he first appeared in Brother Power number 1. And he was sort of an interesting, weird character. Definitely a 60s, I think 60s character, maybe early 70s. Next up is the Bug-Eyed Bandit with classic art by Gil Kane. Man, that is so Gil Kane. First appearance, Atta number 26. Really cool art on this entry here. Love it. I love how we get the Atom. We get sort of an action sequence in full color, and then we just have one background image here of Bug-Eyed Bandit, whose name is Bertram Larvan. Occupation, entomologist, amateur inventor, now professional criminal. So he created cybernetic bugs and could control bugs. He had no size-changing powers that I can see. Next up, we have Bug and Bite. First appearance for your Firestorm number 24. They're a duo. Pretty cool. Art by, again, Raphael Keanan and Bob Smith for Bug and Bite. And then we have Buona Beast. Really great entry here from Chuck Patton and Rick Magyar. First appearance, Showcase number 66. Alter Ego, Michael Payson Maxwell. And he had a host of animal-related jungle powers. There was a great Justice League episode with Buona Beast in it that's very cool, where I think Wonder Woman is turned into a piglet by Circe, and he's enlisted to help track her down before she can be slaughtered at the slaughterhouse. Great episode of the classic Justice League Unlimited series. And our final entry here is Bythe, Joe Kubert entry. So we had Gil Kane and Joe Kubert in this issue, which is great. 2 classic artists. Brave and the Bold number 34 is his first appearance. And it looks like he was a Hawkman villain, a shape changer. Very cool. And then our inside back cover, we have where some of these characters can currently be seen. Let's see. Bolt will turn up in Blue Devil later this year. The Brain and his Brotherhood of Evil are foes of the New Teen Titans. Brute is a member of the Omega Men. Brother Blood will return in New Teen Titans Special number 1. Buona Beast will return in DC Challenge number 2. So cool. I like this feature. It's neat. It's a great way to tie the characters in the issue with the current offerings from DC. So there we have it, another issue of Who's Who in the DC Universe in our march all the way through this 24-issue series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.